It's March 1st and it's time to start forcing some branches. Yesterday I went out and walked around the yard and picked a bunch of branches. The Arnold's Promise witch hazel opened within 12 hours. Look at this. It just smells so wonderful. Its spicy fragrance just fills the house. There's a lot of different witch hazels. I have a couple in my yard. The reddish purple one, I didn't have enough to sacrifice a branch. But these are normally open at the end of February. They're a little late this year because of the inclement weather. But what a wonderful and very easy plant to force. Another plant that opened right away is winter jasmine, Jasmine nudiflorum. This is not fragrant at all, unfortunately, but it is a winter bloomer, hardy to zone 6, and I did not think I could grow it here in Middletown, but I have it in my zone 7 south-facing alcove, which a lot of tender things seem to thrive in. This has bloomed on and off all winter with these little yellow flowers. I pick the stems for arrangements, and within a couple of days these yellow flowers open. In here are some longer pieces of this wonderful winter jasmine, and they came in bud and they opened right away. So this is a vine that doesn't twine and it doesn't cling. It sort of flops on the ground and you have to train it onto a structure. Very, very simple to grow and a wonderful plant for forcing pretty much all winter long. I was surprised the first time I brought it in the house and it bloomed. The other thing that's super easy to force are pussy willows, and I have in this vase 2 types of pussy willows. This is the fasciated pussy willow, which is Salix hakuro nishiki, and as you can see it's flat and twisted and every branch is different. This makes you look like a genius flower arranger because you pick a few branches, select a few out, put them in a vase, and it looks very architectural. I also have some more common pussy willows in here. They were open in the yard when I picked them yesterday. And pussy willows are absolutely the first to bloom. I've seen a pussy willow up the street from Natureworks blooming since the middle of February, which really made me happy. Another plant that I force and love to use in the house is Abeliophyllum. And people call this white forsythia, but it isn't a forsythia, it's an Abeliophyllum. And the buds are black and the flowers are white. They look a little bit like forsythia. They're smaller, but they're fragrant, sweetly fragrant. Because this blooms at the end of March, beginning of April, it might take a week to force in the house. But then the whole house will smell wonderful. Outside in the garden on a warm afternoon in April, you'll smell this from across the yard. If you have not tried Abeliophyllum, it's easy to grow. It's definitely not as big as forsythia. It grows about 4 to 5 feet tall, and there is a pink form available. It's a very pale pink. Then there's good old forsythia, which most people begin with. Forsythia is so easy to force. These buds are pretty swollen already, and they've only been in the house for a day. Because forsythia grows so quickly, you don't feel guilty sacrificing a branch or 2. You just stick it in a vase, and it blooms within a week or so. Here's a cute little vase. I collect vases, and I put them all over the house. The bathroom, the bedroom, in my office, in the kitchen, in the living room. So of all different sizes, as you can see. And here's, in this vase, the very first snowdrop. I picked this today, March 1st. I hated to sacrifice it, but I wanted to show you how late the snowdrops are this year. And so every tiny little vase that you can find can have something in it. It's easy to force plants. And I hope that you will try it. You'll be amazed at what will happen. The last thing I'll show you is Azalea mucronulatum, which is also called Korean spice azalea. Korean spice azalea is an upright, deciduous azalea, very slow growing. It blooms in late March and early April with bright day-glow fuchsia purple flowers. I don't have much of a plant yet. It's slow growing, so I sacrificed a bit of a bottom branch. And it will bloom probably within a week or 2, but the color is really bright and cheerful compared to all the whites and yellows and the other plants behind me. It's very easy to force branches. Give it a try. If you don't have these plants in your garden, make a list and start planting them this spring. Next winter, you'll be happy that you did.